let's see what's going on here. Excellent condition. What happens if I go to my channel? Let's just see. Go to my channel. It says that I'm streaming, but I set it for like 5 minutes from now. So the countdown like shows up. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So here we are, the Mr. Archer here on the Everblue corner. Oh, you can't really see me yet, but yeah, this is the image. You might know where that is. It is somewhere in Liverpool. I have been to that church. I mean, churches, it's more like a cathedral, doesn't it? It might be a cathedral, but I know I've been there. Went to a wedding there, like when I was like 9 years old. But yeah, so really, this is just all about me doing stuff again. I did look on YouTube after I did the Toffee Talk yesterday, and of course, wasn't surprised to find out that there is a small-ish Everton channel who, posts, run-of-the-mill stuff, which is fine, starting lineups, match reactions, things to talk about. But the name was Toffee Talk, so I'm going to have to go back and change the titles of some of my other works. And so I thought, what could I possibly come up with for when I'm just sitting here, not doing much at all here? I should probably change this. Sorry, guys, I'm on my way. On my way. Nope. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay, there we go. Hey, here we are. Sorry about that. I need to delete some of those frames. But, so, I'm here again, watching Champions League football. Thought I'd talk about some Everton stuff too. And, obviously, to my left and to the right are, if you're an astute and avid supporter of Everton Football Club, if you know anything about your football, you'll know why I have Seamus Coleman with Djibril Sidibe looking from behind, grinning, smiling, having a good time. And on the other side, Morgan Schneiderlin and Tom Davis, who you would think would be sneaking up on him based on other things. But that's kind of hinting at what the topic will be tonight that I'll get into. But I am watching 2 Champions League games. I do have the dual streaming active. So I'm watching on one channel, I'm watching Atletico de Madrid against Juventus. And on the other channel, I'm watching the Shakhtar Donetsk Manchester City game. Mahrez has just scored for Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm in the 23rd minute. On that one, it's halftime in the other game. But this is something that I wanted to watch once again because last night, obviously, the shit got beat. Did exactly what I said in another video, or maybe even in that same video. It's like, if you show up and you do things right and you don't make too many mistakes and you have a good game plan, you have a good mentality, all that good stuff, all that stuff that we've talked about, that you concurred with, that you agree with, all of a sudden, Liverpool slip up. Van Dijk messes up. But for the second goal, Llorente comes in. Tottenham reject. Well, basically a free agent, I guess we'll say, picked up by Napoli, came on late in the game. Their manager decided that, hey, you know what? Liverpool are there for the taking. We can risk giving it a little something, putting on an extra attacker, putting on some height, putting on an experienced body, And after the soft penalty, obviously, they went down 1-0. We all had a good laugh and a good chuckle about that. And then, like I said, Llorente came on and put the kibosh on the gobshites. And, I don't like to really see people, unbiasedly, I don't like to see people struggle and fail and not, do it. But it comes down to fine margins. That game was one of fine margins. Each team was trying, each team was good offensively, each team was good defensively. Plenty of chances created, nice, fast, pacey game going on there. And what happens? Mistakes happen. Tackle, penalty or not, still happened. Shouldn't have even risked it. And then Van Dijk having his moment. That's how it goes. And I'm watching the Shakhtar Donetsk Manchester City game for the same reason that I was watching the Chelsea game. I either want to see Shakhtar upset Manchester City, which obviously right now it isn't likely because they're Manchester City 1-0 up, but they're lacking defenders. Stones is out. Now Laporte's out. They had they had a pretty piss poor result at the weekend against Norwich. Have to travel all the way to Shakhtar, probably pretty hostile environment, probably not the greatest weather, and so, could bad follow bad for Manchester City? Could they go away and bottle it? What type of team would they put out? Seeing as, we've got to play in the league in 2 or 3 days, 3 or 4 days probably. So, what are they going to show up with? What team are they going to put out? And they've got Mahrez out there instead of Silva, Bernardo that is. They've got Gabriel Jesus up top. Sterling's playing. So no real different change. The only thing they've got going out at the back is Fernandinho's playing at the back with Otamendi. But, you might have watched the game. If not, I just told you a little bit about it. So I'm watching this game for the upset, but the Atletico Madrid-Juventus game, again, same as why I watched the Liverpool-Napoli game last night. Fast-paced, end-to-end. Quality players playing on the biggest stage, or the biggest European club competition stage, I guess you'd say. Time to shine. You've got Ronaldo out there. You've got Diego Costa out there. You've got Kieran Trippier out there. Take a look at how he does for Atletico. We get to see Diego Simeone. Oh man, every single moment of the game he is out there on the touchline, right? Out there on the touchline, talking to his players, coaching his players, getting up his players' arses when it's going wrong, clapping and cheering, and looking sharp in the suit too, may I say. But that manager, and then you've got Maurizio Sarri on the other side, who obviously coached Chelsea last season. He looks like he's not 2 breaths away from death anymore. He looks rejuvenated since he's been back in Italy. He's out there too. He's coaching all this stuff, and we get to see how everyone says Atletico Madrid's football is boring. Oh, don't forget João Felix. João Felix, over €100 million signing. So, get to see all that. What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, Atletico Madrid's football. Let's say, they always sit back. They're defensive. They're pragmatic. But from what I've seen so far in this first half, and what I see when I watch La Liga, anyways, that's not really how it is. It's what you do. If you play defensively, you suck people in. People come at you. But if you've got the players, that one midfielder, that one striker / forward / winger, whatever you've got going on, if you're going to play that way, you have to have the right players. So when they break, when they get the ball back, everyone is positioned, everyone's moving, everyone's talking and communicating, and bam, they get chances on goal, and then they go back and they reset and they let them come on again and come on again and come on again. So I don't think it's boring. I think it's very tactically astute, and I think they win obviously more games than they lose when they play like that. And I think it's a very nice way of playing. And then, Juventus are Juventus. It's Ronaldo. It's Cuadrado. It's the old geezers at the back playing. You got Ramsey, who plays for them somewhere. Emre Can, who, he wasn't even... Emre Can didn't even get in the Champions League squad, right? And they've got a lot of other players. But it basically revolves around Ronaldo, and seeing as I talk about Ronaldo, and I did yesterday, and he's one of my favorite players, not only skill-wise, technical-wise, personality-wise, and everything I think you'd want to be as a footballer would be summed up in what Cristiano Ronaldo really is. So his age, still playing on the biggest stage in Europe, still competing, still doing it just as well as he has ever done. And he's evolved, obviously, over the years from being an out-wide winger, doing all the tricks to playing centre forward. But, lots of things to watch for tonight. Lots of things to watch for. So, that's why I'm here live streaming. Could have done a regular video. But that always seems like it's Everton, which it is, because I've obviously got players up here that we're going to talk about in a second. But, making the video, editing the video, putting the music to it and all that, and then uploading it. So just slide live stream for a little bit, just for shits and giggles, like I said. But anyways, the players on the here. This is what people have been talking about. I want to talk about a little bit is two players that I think should not. I'm not saying should not be playing, but they need to be benched, and other players need to be given a chance, because obviously the results haven't happened for us this season yet. Obviously the results, the performances, the attitudes, going with safe, going with simple, going with well tested, tried and proven, all that, it hasn't really gotten us anything. It's got us 1 point away from home, 1 goal away from home, 2 losses away from home, 5 goals conceded away from home, and then when we do play at Goodison Park, it's probably a little bit different. People aren't going to get on Seamus's back. People might have doubted the vitality, but that might have been a bare, few people. But no one's going to get on his back at Goodison. You're not going to have 38, 39, 40,000 people booing Seamus, screaming at Seamus, getting on his back. And the same thing for Morgan Schneiderlin, obviously. Yeah, and it's a little different with Morgan because Andre's injured, therefore he plays. But if we are in a situation again where Morgan Schneiderlin is in contention, and he has to play. If it was one of those, Andre's out, JP's out, someone's got to be paired with Delph. It cannot be Morgan Schneiderlin anymore if we want to change the way we play away from home, or even at home. Right, at home we go on on emotion. We're riding with the crowd. We're comfortable. This is our home. This is our fortress. All that good stuff that goes along with that. But I'd rather have Tom Davis in the team and have people get excited that way, because there's nothing better than saying, Tom's in the team, Tom starts, then we start talking, social media gets all like this, oh, Tom's starting, oh, time for Tom to step up, oh, time for Tom, finally time for Tom. Silva's, taking the risk, Silva's got some balls, we want to see this, let's try something new because the old's not really working. People are going to get behind that too. So, if it ever comes up when Schneiderlin has to play again, put Tom in first, Marco. Come on, let's just do it. He carries the ball well. Obviously doesn't do as much on the defensive side of the ball. He can do a job back there because we've seen it and yes, it's different, the England under-21s. But then, of course, when Marco was asked about that, he was like, no, Tom not play there. Tom not play. Or he didn't come out and say it, but he said, no, I don't really see him in that position. Not something I'm looking at. Got JP, got Fabian, got Morgie. So I'll look at me, I'm like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, just giving out everybody's nicknames by putting a Y on the end of it. Yeah, Schneidi, and Tommy, and Davey, and Shamey, and Jibribi. I just call him Sidi Baby. Sibby, probably, right? Sibby. Yeah, good old Sibby. But, yeah, he does a job, and we all that's the thing. We all work with people that just do a job. Some people, that's what they do, is the job. You give them instructions. They go out there. They don't do it with any flair. They don't with any panaz or any panache or any vig or any vigor. Sorry, I should say. Steady Eddie. I always say that, but punch in, do enough to get by. Collect the money, punch out, rinse and repeat. That's Morgan Schneiderlin. He's fallen quite a long ways from when he was having his heyday at Southampton. Then he big move to Manchester United, obviously, and we decided to take him on board. And like I said, does a job. Passes it to the left 5 yards. Passes it to the right 5 yards. Passes it back to the defenders and receives it, and then lays it off really easily. All day, every day, baby. Maybe occasionally you might get past the halfway line and put a decent through ball in and thread a needle or a little whoop over the top or a little whip around the corner. But, that's maybe once a game or so. So there's not really too much there. But then Tom, a little more in the tackle, younger, feistier, more athletic, more energetic. Like I said, travels well with the ball, can pick a pass, can pick up fouls because he's got quick feet. He's very good at positioning his body in order to get cheap fouls. Well, people call it cheap fouls, but good fouls for us. Breaks up, gives us an opportunity to either put a ball into the box, play it short, have a shot, all those good things. So, Marco, from now on, please just put Tom in. And I don't know what it really is. People in the know, people that are in the know, not me, but people in the know would say that, it's not anything personal against Tom. It might be that it's kind of an Ademola Lookman-ish. Not saying it's bad as, but is he putting the effort in? Is he putting forth in practice what everybody else does in his position, the Andres? Because it depends on what Marco wants, right? Because is it that he doesn't want, we can't get a Tom Davis type player? So maybe he just looks at Tom and goes, he's a good player for what he does. Like, he relies on his body movement. He relies on his carrying the ball. He relies on, the certain things that people rely on. And if Marco looks at that and goes, he does all of that. He's a quality player, but I just can't squeeze him in to this midfield because he doesn't offer something else. And I'd rather have that something else from Schneiderlin and Delph than I would from Tom Davis because he doesn't offer that. So obviously we need somebody in there because of the 4-2-3-1 shit that we play. Need somebody in there that is going to be able to screen the back four, able just to make an easy pass, easy just to keep the ball moving over, easy, it doesn't get too excited. It's not going to be called up the pitch a whole bunch. He's always going to be back there to do a job for us while Andre and Sigurdsson, if he's playing. It allows the other midfielders to do what they do. So steady Eddie, gotta have a steady Eddie. But why do we have to have that? Maybe with JP Gbamin coming, that was what it was. It was the he had some of the traits and some of the abilities of Ghana on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe, like I said before, 65 to 70% of a Ghana for getting stuck in, for being calm, being collected, doing all the busy work. 70% of Ghana, and then had 30% more attacking, offensive, breaking through the lines, breaking forward, picking a pass, lobbed pass, through pass, all that good stuff. It took 30% of that Ghana had that didn't have, and add that in. So you got a 100% player, kind of like Ghana, kind of not, but more of what we're looking for. So obviously Tom's not that type of player. So what does Tom have to do to get into the team, or even in the squad? Sometimes he's barely in the squad, and if he is in the squad, he doesn't get on the pitch. Should have brought him on when Schneiderlin was on the yellow against Crystal Palace. Didn't do it. Should have started, for me, not just for me, but I'm the only person here, right? So for me, should have started instead of Schneiderlin away from home at Bournemouth. Would have been a wild card. Would have been a little bit. I bet you didn't see that coming, Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe and the coaching staff, have to adjust on the fly, or we do that. But woo! Cuadrado for Juventus. Great shot. Cut it on his left foot. Wham! Right in the corner. Give it some, and then we're doing a little dance. Oh, do a little dance. Anyway, beautiful goal. But back to Morgan Schneiderlin and Tom Davis. So those are the things that a lot of people have said they've done. Hindsight, great, yeah, 2020. But some of us were saying it on the day. Some of us were saying it right after the lineups came out. Some of us were harping on it on our watch-alongs that happen every weekend. Anytime there's an Everton game on the weekend, I will be here for those watch-alongs, so you can hear me pronounce, proclaim, however you want to put it, and say what I say, and you'll be in the know. But anyway, this weekend, great tangent, right? The watch-along will be on Saturday. I'm really not too sure yet what time Everton play, but we'll be here an hour before, half an hour before, with the lineup, discuss the lineup. Everyone get in here. Jeff, get here. Nettie Co, get here. Pepper Red, come on in, brother. I love you. Come back in. And always welcome any other people that want to come in. And thank you for the 2 new subscribers I believe I got recently. Seamus, are you covering that up? Seamus is covering up the subscriber count, everybody. This needs to be changed then. Oh, nope. That needs to go up there then. Okay, bam, look at that. Edited on the fly. But we'll be here for the game at home to Sheffield United. Guaranteed victory, right? Guaranteed clean sheet. Guaranteed no drama from your baby mama coming on. Just 1 goal, 2 goal, 3 goal. Put them to bed. Maybe we'll see Tom. Maybe we'll see certain other players get to come on, because we'll be so far ahead and we'll be so calm and collected and with it, and playing expressively. The crowd will be on us, cheering everything. They'll have nothing to be disappointed about, nothing to complain about on Twitter or on Reddit afterwards. People might just say, "Oh, well, look at this. Then we're going to go away from home again and bottle it." But let's just wait till we win, because that's a guaranteed fact. We are Everton Football Club. We're going to show up with a plan. We're going to be determined. We're going to get it all done. No worries. Sheamus even came out before we get onto Sheamus. We'll just bring Sheamus into it right now. Sheamus came out and gave us a fabulous speech the other day, right? And I will go and find this because I want to, if you're unaware that Sheamus had some things to say to us. Oops, I was live streaming. I don't have to edit anything out, do I? But anyway, I was looking for it. Yeah, Juventus is still 1 up. Man City are 2-0 up now. I missed that goal. Oh yeah, here we go. First thing about what we have to say. We have to move on from Sheffield United. We just do. It's in the past. It's 3-1. Nothing to worry about here. It's just a game of footy. You win some, you lose some. That's just how it goes. But I know that it is no consolation to travelling support at Bournemouth and fans watching at home. They will expect and demand much more, and rightly so. Oh, really? We've been demanding more and expecting more for, it seems like, eons. It seems like I've lived in so many different houses and had quite a few different jobs and played a lot of different video games and driven my car quite a lot and all these other things. I've been doing a lot of things for a long time feeling that way, Seamus. And that was when we had no money. We didn't have, the ability to bring in super high quality players. We just ground out every result. We just put the hard work in all the time, and we pleased the fans. But the results were what we expected for what we had, where we were, the investment we had, the players we had, the draw that we were to top level coaches and all that stuff. What we got was what we expected. But then the money starts rolling in, and the money starts getting spent, and Marcel Brands comes in, and Marco Silva comes in, and we get rid of a bunch of deadwood, and we bring in some high-quality, young, fresh, talented, ambitious players into our squad and team. I'm still expecting more and demanding more. Because I'm seeing exactly the same stuff on the pitch that I've been seeing when Jelavic was here, that I saw when Fellaini was here, that I saw when... Who else was here? When Stephen Naismith was here. When Stephen Pienaar was still playing. When Johnny Heitinger was still around. When Sylvain Distin was still delivering his milk here. Well, not here, but for Everton. I've seen it all. Cahill was still rocking it. We had players with fight, with drive, desire, ambition, passion, and that came out as they expressed that in the football that they played. Every game fighting for 3 points from minute 1 to minute 90. If we go 1 down, we can come back with self-belief. All that stuff that came with lower wages for players. But that's the trend. Obviously, wages go up higher. But still, people making less of a living. People having probably more substandard pitches and more substandard, training regimes and more substandard physios and all that stuff, but yet managed to go out there with passion, with pride, with belief, and yet now everyone's bodycard, everyone's got their own fitness coach, and everyone's got their own little dietary program to feel, and then they got the body mass index that they've got to work on, and they get these individual little training things and a little bit on the bike, and some players can say, you know what, Gaffer, I'm just... I watched a scary movie last night. Had some bad dreams. Can I just get on the bike today? So let me just have some bike. And and then the manager might be like, well, if that happens, it might get into the tabloids that I'm bullying him and that it's all terrible. And then his lawyer's probably going to get involved. Then the agent's going to be calling, and then I'm going to have to go up to Denise or up to Marcel and lad, you can just go on the bike. If you're not up for it today. Just come into the tactics meetings and stay awake if you possibly could, But so Seamus, we're still expecting and demanding more, but we're not getting it. And even when it says, we always hear, if we had better players, we'd be better and we'd be more consistent and our expectations would meet your demands. But no. Oh, Mr. Manager, same expectations, same disappointments. So it doesn't matter where you put your finger, Seamus. I'm not talking to Seamus, but here's what I was talking about this. And you have to say it's a public relations thing, right? If you went into the Twitter on Sunday and saw, or maybe it was it was on Sunday when Everton posted something about thanking the travelling support that went to Bournemouth. Everyone in the comments says, yeah, well, if you really wanted to support us or you really wanted to thank us, you should pay for our coach fare back, or give us our ticket money back, and all this other stuff, because and they say, oh, now we have to come out. Who are we going to send out? Send out the capo. Send out Seamus. Everyone's got a soft spot for Seamus. He's been a good servant. He's not playing that well right now, so we'll do a double thing. Maybe we're being too harsh on Seamus. He came out. He talked to the media. He sent us a message of hope and a battle cry. Against Sheffield United, and it's so sorry. I'm so sorry the team's doing this. Yeah. Anyways, it wasn't good enough for most of us. From most of us. I thought I said for most of us. Yeah, but now again, some people probably don't give a shit, do they? To be honest with you, there's certain players that just don't look like they can be arsed. And I'm not going to name names because that'd be mean. But, no, that's it. It wasn't good enough for most of us, and we need to be better. Oh, I can get along with that, but you can put that in a whole bunch of games. If you said, the Mr. Archer, we've got a quote here, and the quote was from a player, and they said, it wasn't good enough for most of us. We need to do better. I can put that at the end of anywhere in the past probably 25 years when it comes to Everton Football Club. Okay? And Coleman knows that not many of his teammates could leave South Coast with their heads held high after that display, and the Blues must improve their away form. Oh, I'm sure he does know it. It's not hard. You just ask the stat keeper what it is. And all the pundits are going to talk about it. Everybody on the radio is going to talk about it. Morons like me are going to talk about it. Small, tiny streamers with barely any views and, not very high metrics and all. So even people like me can get the stats. And we can see it. And plus we watch the games every week. And we know where points come from and what point to do. They take you up or down the table, depending on how many you have. And so we know our waveform's pretty shit when 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, whatever. We know. We know all about it. And what else did they say? I'm going to lose houses. Yeah, and you guys are so embarrassed, right, that you couldn't even go past the halfway line to clap the away support as soon as stand there. Get your asses over there. And you might not want a little abuse. Oh, you might not want to hear people say mean, naughty things. Well, guess what? You basically robbed them, right? They bought a ticket, they bought the petrol and the gasoline, they bought the snacks, and they probably bought some food, and they bought the concessions. They took time out of their day, they probably worked their ass off all week, like most of us do, and we say, there, work week done. Except for you, Jeff. I know you have to go to work sometimes after Everton games, which, whoa, oh boy, oh, whew. I'll tell you what, I couldn't do that. Right? Anyways, so, yeah, you basically robbed them of their money, their time, their good humor. You robbed them of being able to talk about anything to their friends besides getting bantered on at work or when you go to social gatherings. That's all. You robbed them. You mugged them off, right? And you just stand on the halfway line. Get your ass over there. Bow your head in subservience, in acknowledgement of a failed game, that you failed in your duty and your honor, and you failed in your performance to please the Evertonians who buy your shirts, buy the tickets, like I said, all that stuff, all those Evertonians do. You go over there and you look them in the eye and you just say, hey, we'll do better next time, and we're sorry, and then you give your shirts out like we did at Lincoln. You do a whole bunch of stuff. But no, halfway line clapping. You know what? That's to you. It's not to all of you. Well, it is. Anyone that didn't cross the halfway line, those that didn't go down to the fans, it's disgraceful. And I'll flip off Everton players all day. You know, I'm not going to get a personal about it. I'm not going to start name calling and, you know, talking about animals or any of that stuff. You know, I'm not going to dig into their personal lives about who's beat who and who's cheated on who and whose marriage is broken down, who's got illegitimate kids, and, you know, if they're starting up fashion lines. You know, none of that stuff. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to, you know, dig somebody individually. But as a club, you wear this. The people that came to support you are wearing this. They've got identical shirts on. They might even have your name on your back. I don't know if I could ever go somewhere and if somebody had, you know, a shirt of me on the front, or a banner, or a flag, or something, or, you know, even little Jimmy, little Johnny stood there, little 10-year-old kid, you know, Andre Gomez shirt on or something, or a Richarlison shirt, or whatever, and stood there little eagerly with his little pen. He's like, oh, we traveled all the way down here, you know, we got great seats, you know, the guys are going to come over, I'm going to get the sign and having my autograph signed. No, you mugged them off, you mugged off a 10-year-old kid because you're embarrassed about, you should be embarrassed about your performance, you know, and how you can't come over, and, anyway. So yeah, Seamus then went on, and when you put on the Everton shirt, whether you're young or old or young, you have to take responsibility, to be brave, to look for the ball at all times, and to help your teammates. Not many of us could hold our heads high coming off the pitch on Sunday, and that's the truth. Whoa, I'm learning a lot here. I'm learning a lot that you were shit, and that you were ashamed of being shit. And there's some old shit in the team, and there's some young shit in the team. And then we had to take responsibility, but we didn't because we're shit. And we had to be brave, but we weren't because we're cowards. And look for the ball all the time. Oh, well, everyone does look for the ball because everybody gets to touch, right? I was talking about this yesterday. You know, everyone gets a touch. Seamus, you get a touch, and then you play it back to Michael Keane, and Michael Keane plays it to Schneiderlin. Schneiderlin plays it to Mina. Mina plays it out to Dean. Dean plays it to Delph or to Gomez or somebody. And Dean makes a little jog down the outside, and he gets the ball back, and he plays it to the left-sided player, and then he does a little jog behind him, or they do a little triangle pass, and then the ball comes into the box, and the defender heads it out, and we do it all again. Like, everybody gets a touch. Now, if we're going to allow teams to get into the double block, or the low block with two banks of defenders, and we've just got the ball back in possession, how else do you think we're going to hold the ball up for a long enough time for the away team, or a team that's even playing at Goodison Park, to reset themselves? You can't just ping it forward, big diagonal from Seamus to a running on Luca Dean, or a Luca Dean to a running on Richarlison, or any of that, or playing it up to Dom and them quickly breaking and, you know, coming in and picking up the ball and just moving their defender. We can't do that. Just give them enough time to get themselves set. So what we do instead is we have to pass it. So you get like I said, the whole back six probably. There's two sitting midfielders in the whole back line, maybe even Pickford. So that's seven. 7 out of our 11 players get a touch every time that we get possession back. So you don't have to go looking for the ball. It's going to come to you eventually. Just be square. Just show square. Oh hey, square. So, you know, don't give me that. Our home form is good, but away from home at the minute, it is disappointing, and something we need to put right very fast if we want to be better this season. That's from 1997. Oh wait, no, that's from 2003. Oh no, wait, that was said again in 2000. It's been said every single couple of weeks for every single year for the past 25 years. Our home form is good, but away from home at the minute it is disappointing, and something we need to put right very fast if we want to be better this season. The referee is down for some reason in the Juventus and Atletico Madrid game. I didn't see what happened, but Manchester City score again. He got whacked in the face. He got wackoed. What is the score of this Manchester City game? Is it 3-0 right now? Yeah, he did get whacked in the face. But yeah, so I'm sorry. Yeah, put Seamus out there, but it's... You know, let's just take a look at some of these comments. I love Seamus, but I've literally heard the same quote from every Everton player, coach in the past 5 years. It seems rhetoric is getting old. Agree. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, and so on. Agree, obviously. It's always been an emotional struggle as an Everton. I wasn't expecting anything miraculous this season. Anyway, a shit season or 10 isn't going to change the way I feel about the team. I don't know about, like, I want to just start yelling and screaming about that, but that's the way some people like their football, right? But yeah, here's a good one. Lose 2-6 to Tottenham at home. We need to be better. Lose 3-2 to Millwall, second team. We need to be better. Lose 2-0 to an already relegated Fulham. We need to be better. Get 1 point from Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and Bournemouth. Oh, we need to be better. See, that's it. I'm done with Reddit now. When Reddit comes in, there's one person that posts, oh, Juventus just scored again? Jeez. Oh, wait, I was watching halftime highlights in the Manchester City game. But yeah, Juventus 2-0 up at Madrid. Who was that? Oh, Matuidi. Okay. So, Sidibe should start for Coleman. That's basically what I'm getting at. Same with the Tom Davis thing, where I think the consensus is in from wise, learned, high IQ Evertonians know that Seamus and Schneiderlin get out the team for at least a couple of games. Schneiderlin more so than Coleman, but Coleman, you have to have a break, lad. Like, defensively, you're as much of a liability, and your skill in that area has been consistent for the longest time. And it's not a high standard, it's a barely getting by standard. Offensively, putting the ball in, getting into the box, coming in at the far post, those used to be what you do. Yes, you're captain now, but that doesn't mean that you have to play all the time. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed nailed on for starting 11 spot. So, that's one area that needs to improve. And if we're looking for something from Marco, if we're looking for something from the team, here we go. Let's be ballsy. Let's do that. It'll set a standard. It'll teach a lesson, but that sounds negative. But it'll show that there's no favorites. That we're still experimenting. We're still trying new things, because we brought Sidibe in for a reason, right? Back up for Seamus Coleman, not just when he's injured, but when he's also shitting a brick every time he goes forward and holding up play and passing it back. He's one of the main perpetrators of holding the ball up. My dog hair on my mouth. And yada yada. You already know this. So give Sidibe a game. It's Sheffield United at home. Get on it. Do it. And then the same for Tom Davis. If Gomez is back, great. Andre Gomez and Delph, you're a whole bunch of you're all shit. Fabian Delph. Can watch that all day. I should actually set that as my ringtone or something on my phone. there's no audio, but I can make my own audio, right? But yeah. So those are the things that I would do. It looks like both of these games are over now. Also, it's 70th minute at Madrid. Juventus are up 2-0. I don't see Atletico Madrid coming back. And when it comes to Shakhtar Donetsk and Manchester City, I mean, I'm not going to turn them off, but I'm also kind of done streaming here because I've got my points out. That was all of it. I'm just giving this a try. It's almost 39 minutes. If you're watching the rerun of this, obviously nobody came in while I was live streaming, but that's to be expected because everyone lives in the UK and I started streaming at midnight there, so don't expect anyone to do this. But the only difference between me doing this and me doing a video is there won't be any fancy intro with the and and all that, and that's about it. But I just wanted to get here and talk to my 15 to 20 people that watch these videos. Loyal but small, but that's okay. Good things come in small packages. People say that, but I'd rather have my YouTube package be super big so I could have 1,000 subscribers and then I could start live streaming from my phone and doing other things, and then I could also start monetizing some of this stuff. It wouldn't be much money, but it'd just be a proud moment. Oh! 2-1? Are you sure that's going to count? Who was that? It's that really old guy. Oh, Savage. Savage just scored for Atletico Madrid, so I might have been wrong about that. But anyways, I'm still going to go. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new, please subscribe. If you liked, or if you do like it, please like. All that good stuff. I'll probably be back tomorrow with an actual video that I put up, but I just wanted to do a little bit of live streaming right now. So thanks for watching. If you're watching the replay, appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.